Hi, friend. Are you hosting a workshop or yoga event and not quite sure how to get people to say yes to your invitation to the party? Well, I've got you covered in this episode. I'm going to walk you through the process of planning for the marketing of your yoga offering. Plus, I've got a free download that goes along with this, and it's even got a super cute timeline graphic that will tell you what to do and when. It's one you don't want to miss. You can get the download on the show notes page for this episode, which can be found at marketingyogawithconfidence.com/post/episode 10. Welcome to episode number 10 of the Marketing Yoga with Confidence podcast. I'm your host, Amanda McKinney, and I'm so excited you're here today. This episode is brought to you by my membership. And if you haven't heard yet, the doors are opening next week. I'm talking all about launching this month in September because of the membership. I'm walking you through the process. So if you didn't hear last week, go back and check it out, and definitely stay tuned to the next 3 weeks of episodes because I'm live talking through my launch. But the membership is all about confidence and community for you, the yoga teacher who's looking to grow your yoga business and earn more money doing what you love. I opened the doors to founding members this past April, and the 36 founding members are incredible. Not only did they help me name the membership, they helped me name the podcast. They helped me figure out what content to put into the membership first. They have absolutely been incredible, and I want you to join them. They will support you like they have been supporting one another. It's been such a sweet process of watching the founding members connect with one another and support one another. There have been many things happening in the membership, and I don't want you to miss out. So be sure to stay tuned because the doors are opening next week. But let's jump into today's episode that's all about planning for that yoga workshop or event and that marketing plan template. So I know you've already got it figured out. You know your workshop, you know your yoga event, and you've got the details. And I'm so excited that's where you are because that's what you need in order to plan for a launch. Now, if you're not quite sure on all the details about your event yet, that's okay too. But just know that you have to know what the heck you want to market before you can actually come up with the plan. In last week's episode, we talked about the overall steps of planning for a launch. So if you haven't listened to that episode, you might want to go back and take a listen before you go through this, because I don't go into all of the details for each step. I'm just giving an example in this episode. But you might feel stuck even after listening to that example last week, because I really heavily focused on my example of planning for my membership launch. So in this episode, I'm talking all about a yoga offering. Or maybe you're sitting here listening thinking, yeah, Amanda, I don't need a plan. I've got it all under control. And that's okay too. But what I want you to know is that a plan makes things happen. So what I don't want you to do is leave it to chance. I want you to earn more money with your yoga offering, and you will do that by having a plan. It will be much less stressful too. So step number 1 is setting your goals. And again, in episode number 9, I talked about good, better, and best. So really quickly, I think everyone should set good, better, and best goals instead of just setting one. There's a lot that goes into this, but overall, it just works. It gives you milestones to celebrate, and it's a lot of fun. So I think you should do that. But for this example, I'm going to go through exactly what your good, better, and best could be. So the question that answers the good goal is actually, what is your minimum number of students that you need to make the event happen? If you had even one less students, you would need to cancel. That will give you your good goal. And next up is your best goal. Yes, I know I skipped better, but I did that on purpose. The way that you get to your best goal is what is the maximum number of people you can fit into the space for the workshop. If you cannot fit anyone else in the space, that gives you your best goal. And your better, I bet you guessed it, it's somewhere in the middle. You want to pick something that's right in the middle of that good goal and the best goal, because that's the middle ground and it makes sense. So now you've got your good, better, and best goals, and it's time to use those Post-its. If you don't know about my Post-it system, then I definitely want you to go back and listen to episode number 9, because I talk about how I have 100 Post-its on my wall right now. But the overall idea with the Post-its is that I want you to visualize the perfect people that will fill your workshop. And I'm going to get a little woo here, but you want to call in the people. Call in your dream student that would be perfect for your workshop. And I don't want you to skip over this because I do want you to remember that there is a perfect person for your workshop. And I want you to really think about them throughout this entire planning process. So think about that dream student, and then I want you to put your Post-its somewhere that you can see them every day during not only the planning process, but the marketing process during your launch. So I said I have them up on my wall, but maybe you have them in a notebook or on your desk somewhere. I don't care where it is. I want you to see it every day. Is that your bathroom mirror? Go for it. Who cares where it is? Just go for it. Look at those Post-its every single day. Call in those people. Call in your dream students because it really does work. And it also does this other thing, which it encourages you to actually invite people to the party. You've heard me say it so many times. Marketing is just inviting people to the party. And I promise you, if you have your Post-its on your wall, in your calendar, on your bathroom mirror, you will remember to invite people to the party. Trust me, I have 100 that I'm looking at right now as I'm recording this podcast. Step number 2 is to brain dump all those ideas and then pick 2 main marketing channels. So here's the thing. What you're going to do is start a Google Doc with all the ways that you could invite people to the party. There's so many ways. There are so many ways, and I totally get it. Trust me. Again, in episode number 9 of last week, I talked about how many ideas I had for welcoming people into the membership. There are tons of them. But what I want to do for this very super simple template for you, I want you to pick 2. Just pick 2 because there's so many that we can get overwhelmed. But I have a go-to method of picking 2, and I want you to pick one that's online and one that's offline because I don't want you to forget word of mouth is the absolute number 1 source for yoga students. Whether it's people walking into a class, people signing up for a workshop, or private clients, number 1 referral is word of mouth. So you definitely don't want to forget that. I don't want you to pick 2 online platforms and focus only online if word of mouth is the best option for you. So an example of the 2 platforms could be Facebook and the yoga studio where you'll host the workshop. But above all else, I want you to remember your dream student. Where are they? If they are on Facebook, then I want you to use Facebook. If they're on Instagram, I want you to use Instagram. I will say this though, if you have 2 online spaces and you are more comfortable with one, then use the one you're comfortable with. But just make sure your dream student is there too. But again, you want to get really clear on who the workshop is for because the answer is not, it's for everyone. If you say the workshop is for everyone, I want to challenge you. And I challenge you in love and in encouragement. But I want to challenge you because you wouldn't host the same workshop for these 2 people. Let's say one wants a fast-paced, high-energy arm balancing experience, and another person wants a restorative, recharging experience. Heck no, you wouldn't do the same thing for them. No way on earth. So what I want you to know is who the workshop is for. If you do not know this answer, then start over and start there. Because if you don't know this answer, you cannot effectively market your workshop. It will be a watered down message and no one will sign up. Or if people do sign up, you run the risk of them being upset because they didn't know what the workshop was going to be about. But if you are super clear on who the workshop is for and what they're going to get out of it, oh my gosh, you're going to have happy students. Who doesn't want happy students? But to bring it back, I want you to think of all those ideas, but really just pick 2. Where your dream student is hanging out online and offline. I want you to pick 2 because it's so much better. Just like niching down with a workshop and getting really specific, it's really a whole lot better and more effective on your time and your energy if you pick 2 main marketing channels and go heavy on those instead of going mediocre on 10. I know you know this already. I'm just reminding you. Step number 3 is figuring out exactly how you will use those 2 channels. With any marketing channel, there are so many ways to use that channel. So I want you to get really specific. So if you said to me, Amanda, I'm going to use Facebook to get people into my workshop, I'm going to look at you and say that's not a specific plan. And I'm probably going to say that it's crap. I love you, but I also know you. And as your marketing coach, I know absolutely that I cannot tell you, use Facebook to get people into your workshop, because you actually won't use Facebook. What I have to say to you is I want you to post 2 times a week on Facebook and do at least 1 Facebook Live a week to promote your workshop. And then you'll do it. You're an amazing yoga teacher who's incredibly driven. I know this about you because I work with you every day. I work with yoga teachers who are ready to welcome their dream students into their classes. So if I give you a specific plan, you will do it. But you only do it because it's really specific. So I want you to set yourself up for success here too. I know and you know that the likelihood is way higher if you open up your calendar or open up your task list and it says, go live on Facebook today about this message, that you'll do it. But if it says, think about a Facebook Live today, you're just not going to do it because it seems like a bigger task. So outline the details for each individual channel. So with each of the channels, remember you picked 2, with each of those channels, I want you to outline 3 ways that you can use that channel. Here are some examples. So if you said you want to use Facebook, I would want you to say you're going to use Facebook post, you're going to create a Facebook event, and you're going to do Facebook Lives. If you said Instagram, maybe you said I will have Instagram post, Instagram stories, and Instagram ads. If you said you're going to use your email list, maybe you say, I'm going to mention it in my newsletter. I'm going to have a special email to private clients. And I also have a special email to my whole list with an invitation for the workshop. Or maybe you said you want to collaborate with the yoga studio that you're hosting the workshop. And you say that you can mention it in class. You could also ask the studio to include it in their newsletter. You could also ask the studio to mention it on social media. The key is just to get really specific, and then you have to make it happen, right? So step number 4 is identifying that timeline. So now you're going to take those things like Facebook Live, Facebook post, and actually put a date to them. Just like I want you to get specific about the channels, you just need to get specific on the date. When will you post on Facebook or Instagram? When will you send the email? When will you connect with those local groups to invite moms to that restorative yoga class? Then once you know, okay, I need to create 5 Facebook posts and an outline for 2 Facebook Lives, or I need to write 3 emails and reach out to 4 people. Once you know these things, you can make them happen. Again, you are a driven yoga teacher. I have never had an issue with yoga teachers doing the work once it's outlined and you have a goal in mind and you have a plan. I don't run into those issues very often. People really do take the task and run with it. So I know you will too, but you have to get clear. So if I wrote you a plan, I would make it really, really clear what you needed to do on what day. And I want you to do that for yourself. You can totally do this. And the one thing I definitely don't want you to forget is to figure out when you will create all the stuff. So let's say you have on your calendar that you are going to do 2 Facebook Lives and send 3 emails and make connections with 5 people. So you've got these things on your list. When will those emails get written? When will those Facebook Lives get outlined? These are the things that you have to do before you can actually take the action. And I don't want you to forget putting that on your calendar. Most people don't forget, I will send an email on this day. But a lot of people forget, you still need to write the email and you need to schedule the email. They don't write themselves. So I just don't want you to forget. So I'm going to give you an example because I think those are really helpful in these specific situations. So if you plan to post on Facebook, create a Facebook event, and go live on Facebook, you would need to do the following things. You would have to create the Facebook event, invite people to the Facebook event, and I always suggest a goal of 20 people to invite when you create an event. You'll decide when you will post on Facebook. Remember, get specific. What day, what time? And bonus tip here, if you have a Facebook page, not just a profile, you can schedule those posts ahead of time. But you have to write the Facebook post, decide when you're going to go live on Facebook, and write your talking points down for your live. Remember, Facebook Lives don't have to be long, so just write a few bullet points. So once you have all of these things down on your calendar, you're going to have a list of things that might feel a little overwhelming. But remember, these tasks are really small so that you can actually do them, cross them off your list, and make it achievable. Remember to batch like task. So if you're writing a whole bunch of emails, write them all on the same day. Don't break them up. If you have social media posts to schedule or contacts to make in the community, do these tasks on the same day. So if you need to run around town and go make connections, do it all in one day. Mark out an afternoon and get it done, because our brain really likes to do things like that all at one time. So be nice to your brain and be nice to your sanity too, because you'll get more done if you batch those like tasks. So along with planning on your calendar, I have 2 other bonus tips for you. And the first bonus tip is the Oh Crap plan. I know it's a fancy name, isn't it? But it's real life, because every single time I have launched something or worked with someone as their launch coach, there has been a moment of, oh crap, there's not enough people registered. It happens every time, and it's going to happen to you. So what I like to do is have an oh crap plan. For that moment when your brain tells you, panic, 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 I want you to breathe and know that it's going to be okay. Again, this is when those registrations just aren't exactly where you want them to be. This is typically about a week out from the registration close date, when there's typically a little bit of a panic. First, I want you to breathe and remember that people usually register for something on the last day. So don't you dare give up now. I want you to keep going. If that happens, I just want you to keep going. I don't want you to give up, not even close. People register on the last day. So do not give up on the last few days of your open launch. I want you to keep going. And second, I want you to look at what has worked so far. When you see, okay, I had 2 signups because I talked to someone at a coffee shop, I want you to go to more coffee shops. Look at what's working and do more of that. This Oh Crap plan is so simple. And the reason it's simple is because you have to do something fast. So what I need you to do is breathe, keep going, and do more of what's working. I promise it's the simplest plan, but it's the most effective plan. If you see that Facebook Lives are bringing people in, do a Facebook Live every single day. Do more of what's working. Pretty simple, right? And my other bonus tip is to figure out accountability. So this isn't really part of a marketing plan, but it's just as important. You need to know yourself and know if you can hold yourself accountable. If you can't, there is absolutely no shame in this. And if I had a stat, I would tell you, but it's probably 90% of the world. We need someone else to help us hold each other accountable. So find a friend and show them your calendar and say, I have to do these things. They don't really have to stay on top of it, but the fact that you told them about it is going to make you do it. If you need a launch coach, reach out. I don't have anything on my website, but email me and I will see if I can fit it on my calendar. I will be your launch coach. You've got to figure out what you need. Do you need to just tell someone? Can you have your calendar sitting on your desk or on your computer and that's what you need? Whatever it is, figure out what you need to hold yourself accountable or to have a friend hold you accountable and do that. All you need is the dates, when things need to happen, and getting specific. If your plan is so complicated that you can't show it to a friend and they would know what it means, then it's too complicated. Make it simple. You don't need to go crazy here. Just make it really simple and then you'll actually do it. Remember, clear and simple is what we're going for here. So I want you to know the details of the event, then set your goals, Brain dump all the ideas, but only pick 2. Then of those 2, figure out 3 ways you're going to use those specific channels, and then get it on the calendar. It's super, super simple. You can do this. So your next best step is to go to the show notes page and download the free template. I want you to have this template for this marketing plan because you will have a workshop. If you don't have one right now, you're going to wish you had it. So I want you to download it today and just save it to your computer. Fill in your details and then get after it. I want you to earn some money in the next few months. So set a goal, create a workshop, and get after it. Keep it super simple and make it happen. You will learn along the way, and you're going to adjust. You're going to do, learn, and adjust. That's your motto, okay? I want you to do, learn, and adjust. Trust me, over the next 3 weeks on this podcast, you're going to see me adjust. During my live launch, I will be talking about how things don't ever go as planned. I'm certain about it already, and I will be adjusting along the way. You can find the download at marketingyogawithconfidence.com/post/episode 10. I want you to get that download and start planning today. And until next time, give yourself permission to keep it simple and grace along the way. Talk to you soon.